I am going to record this, so all of you know that you're being recorded, even Phoebe straightening her hair. So there's a couple people who can't get on. All right, so let me show you what we are talking about. I've got this on the website. Okay. Oh, now I can't find the right page. I think this is the right page. I have too many pages up. There we go. So I've got this on the website. I just want to explain what we're doing. So most of you have already sent me your sources that you're going to use, and I'm skimming through them, making sure they look good, and I'm sending it back saying, yep, these look good. Okay. If I see something or like I need you to find something else, I'll let you know, but I'll have those done today and any others you're getting in. Okay. So what I want you to be doing now is hopefully you've read them. Okay. That's a good thing to do. And then choose some lines from each article that you want to use in your paper. Okay. And I want you to send me those lines. So all you have to do at this point is you're just going to kind of cut and paste, copy and paste, not cut, copy and paste them. And you're going to make a Google Doc. And it's going to be called this, lines from sources I am using. Okay. So I want to see what lines you plan to incorporate into your paper. So you've got these extra sources, you pull some information out, paste it on there, send it off to me. Okay. Because I'm going to compare later how you put those into your paper later, but I want to see what you're using right now. All right. So you should have at least 2 lines. Okay, 1 from each different source. You can use more if you want. I've got a couple of people who want to use 3 sources. That's fine. I got some people who want to use 8 lines. That's fine. Okay. I'm not going to regulate how much. I just want you to have at least 2. I want you to have this practice of putting information from sources into your paper. All right. Now, when you go to do your paper, I want you to use only 2 direct quotes. That's when we do it in the little quote marks. Do you remember way back when we were still in school and we had, sorry, I get some in. We did a practice on one of the websites about the Holocaust, okay? And I had to do some, copying some words from it word for word. We were going to do some more practicing with that, but that's all we got to. So I do want you to go ahead and you can use 2 quotes word for word, okay? But a much better thing to do would be paraphrases, okay? So you can use as many paraphrases as you want in this paper. If you're finding a lot of information that you want to put in, awesome, yay. You can do summaries, which is when you take the whole source and you condense it into something smaller. So an entire 2-page newspaper article, maybe you just summarize it into 1 line. You can do that. So summaries and paraphrases are great to have in there. Maybe some of these lines up here that you choose to put into your paper, you're going to turn into a paraphrase or a summary. Wonderful. Okay. But I just want to see the raw lines that you're going to be using. And I want you to be thinking about, you're going to have to use 2 quotes. 2 quotes is the most. But you can use as many paraphrases and summaries as you want in this paper. All right. So there's a few things I want to make sure that you understand what paraphrases and summaries are, because this is where people start making mistakes, and I don't want mistakes. Okay. So a paraphrase is when you rewrite the source's information and you put it into your own words. Okay. And you cannot have 3 or more words exactly the same. Then it becomes a quote. Now, when you do a paraphrase, you don't have the quote marks around it. You just put it in your own words. And the reason you put it into your own words is to make it smoother into the text, or maybe it's a little confusing the way they read it, so you kind of make it simpler to understand, or it fits your writing style better. Variety of reasons why you may want to paraphrase something. But it's still not your information. You still have to tell us the source that it came from. That's where students make the big mistake. They forget to tell us the source, okay? So you still need to do that. When you do paraphrase though, or summary, you do not change the meaning of the sentence. You do not take a not or put in a not, okay? You don't want to misrepresent the source at all. It's gotta be the same stuff, okay? Same with summaries, it's still the same information, okay? but don't change the meaning of it. All right. So to give you some practice, I have got this page that a couple of you have already done, but I'm going to pull it up here about how some practice with this. Hold on, let me find the right page. Share screen. Okay. So here's the page that I want you to do. And here I've got all these fun directions because paraphrasing and quoting and summarizing is the funnest stuff around. It's so boring. I'm sorry, guys, but I try to make it interesting. So here are the rules kind of rewritten about quotes and paraphrases, ones that we've gone around before. So quotes, they've got to have the quote marks on them. Okay. Paraphrases, you cannot have three or more words exactly the same. In quotes, so we talked about this a few weeks ago, if you want to put in some, if you want to take out some words, you can do that. You go dot, dot, dot. We call these ellipses. You can drop words if you want, just don't change the meaning. If you want to put in words, you can put them in with brackets, okay? But you don't change the meaning, all right? And then the other thing is every time that you use a source, you need to identify the author, okay? So I'm giving you an example right here that you're going to go through, and you're going to do this example. And so what I have here is an excerpt from the book, The Secret Lives of Teachers by Am I Done Yet? And so here we have, we're pretending these are 2 pages from it, where he is he's writing about teachers and their attitudes. You are going to pretend that you are taking from this source and putting it into your paper, okay? Well, as you do so, you need to be careful when you do your paraphrases and your quotes that you are not misquoting or changing meaning, or that you've got words that are too close, and you need to tell us the author's name. Now, here's an important thing. Some of your articles I've noticed do not have an author's name. So if you don't, then you're going to use the title of the article instead. We'll talk more about that at the end of the break, but I just wanted to let you know, because I know some people are going, I can't remember what to do. You'll use the title just as if it's an author, and we'll discuss that when we get back, okay? So you always want to tell us who the author is in parentheses at the end of the sentence, okay? So at the end of each quote, paraphrase, and summary, you've got to put their name in parentheses before the period. Emily thinks it's part of the sentence. I know it looks weird. You do your sentence and then you've got your parentheses and then the period. It feels weird. It's just what they say to do. So we just do it. Okay. All right. So let me just show you the first example, and I'm going to let you do the rest. So this article here, I'm going to read this to you. Many instructors have various attitudes about the students they teach. Depending on how many years they've taught and what kind of school they've worked at, teachers' feelings about students develop into attitudes that become hardwired into their psyches. For example, one teacher, Mrs. Kellogg, gushes about her students. I simply love my kids. I love to hear them think out loud, to watch them progress from saying foolish things at the beginning of the semester to sounding intelligent and thoughtful by the end. I love my job. Well, there's missing right there. Better fix that. There we go. Other professors, such as Professor Moody, feel differently. Once you get right down to it, students are, for the most part, self-centered, egotistical, downright stupid little snots. I can't wait until I retire. Only 23 more years of this torture. Okay, so here you've got this information. Now this page here, I have taken information from that and put it in. Each one of these, and there's 6 of them, has at least 1 error. Some have a couple of errors. Okay, so what you're going to do is rewrite this entry to make sure that it is correct. And you have to figure out, is it a quote problem? Is it they didn't tell us the author? What's happening? So if you introduce your author at the beginning, you do not have to put them in a parentheses at the end. Okay, so here we do, they have done this. Done Yet writes about a teacher who detests his students. Okay, students are stupid snots, claims Professor Moody. Okay, so let's take a look. Shut up, I didn't ask your opinion. So let's look up here. My children are helping. I don't need their help. All right, so he said, so when you see it, it's write it down, get to it. Students are, for the most part, self-centered, downright stupid little snots. Students are stupid snots. Okay, we've changed the wording. So here we have it in quote marks, but it is not exactly the same as up here. Okay, so this would need to be fixed. You would either fix this quote or make it so that's a true paraphrase. You decide. So you find some way to fix it. All right. So that's your assignment. To do this, you've actually got 2 things to do. I want you to do this assignment because I want to make sure that you understand how to fix paraphrases and quotes. Okay. So there's a few of these here. Go through all of these. Figure out what's wrong. Okay.
So
Do you
we
have a
just
question?
fix this, like the sentences.
Yes.
Like, can
So
you do an example or something?
yeah, I just did. So like this one, stupid students are stupid snots. This is not word for word what he said. When you look up here, he said, so here's the word students, stupid little snots. It needs to be exactly word for word. Okay. So you could either put all of these words in here to make it a correct quote, or you could put in the ellipses that are missing. So when we drop words, we put in the dot, 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 say I've dropped some words. You could put those in there. Or what they've actually done is they've written it more as a paraphrase. So you could just take off the quote marks. There's about 3 or 4 different ways you could fix this. And I'll let you decide which way you want to. Okay. So your task then is to look at each one of these and see what's going on, what's wrong here. She said there's something wrong. I have to find it, and then find it and then rewrite it in one of many ways that will work. Okay. Good question. Other questions about this? We're good? Okay. So let me go back to what your assignments are for today. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I want you to complete those pages, share them with me, okay? And then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to send me those lines from sources I am using, all right? So you decide which lines, and if between now and when you write your paper, you decide to change some of those lines, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, because I realize once you start writing it and you look at your sources again, you may find something else. You go, oh, this is much better, or oh, this is not going to work as well as I thought. That's all right. If you need to change it, that's fine. So what you've got is the first assignment I showed you, doing the paraphrases and quotes, and then you are going to send me some lines from your sources that you think you might want to be using in your paper. And I want both of these by Friday night, before midnight. Okay? So which obviously shows you that, no, I'm not having you turn in the whole paper by tomorrow. Okay? Just wasn't working. Okay? So we're not going to finish the research paper till we come back from break. So once you've got these done, you're like donezo. Great. Nothing else going on. If you're behind at all, you've got some time to get caught up. If you're behind in other classes, you can get caught up there. Whatever. Okay. When we come back, I'll explain how to do conclusions, how I want you to put all of this together, and then we'll probably have it due, I wrote it down somewhere, but I forgot. Probably like that Thursday, April 30th. Okay, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll give you a little bit of time. I'll tell you how to finish it and then let you write it and then turn it in. Okay. Questions about that? What have you got?
Are the lines for sources and this little paraphrase practice due on Friday, tomorrow?
Yes. If
Okay.
you look at my big bolded words right there.
Pictures of the other people are in the way.
Oh, sure. Okay, Phoebe, whatever. Okay. yes, it is Friday. Okay. Good. Other questions? Other questions?
I just tried to talk and I'm muted.
What was that?
In the lines from sources I'm using, Is that like the paraphrasing, or is it just lines, like direct quotes?
So the lines that you're going to use from your sources, you can do for right now. If you just want to give me the actual quotes from the sources, that's fine. But if you want to start paraphrasing them, you can. Right now, I'm trying to force you to actually read your sources and choose some information. If we were in class, I would have you showing me your sources and your highlights and stuff. Well, I can't do that right now. Okay, so this is what I'm having you do, and I'm not being very strict about how I want you to read it just yet. Just give me whatever lines you think you might want to put in your paper. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. You're really soft, so I couldn't quite hear everything. Angela's so quiet right now. Not usually. Okay.
Angela quiet. That's funny.
I know. That's right.
I had to. Angela was mean to me last time we were on here, so it's my turn.
So, other questions that you have? Anything else? You guys are good? Okay. I'm trying not to give you too much or make this too painful or annoying. So, I'm ready for a break. I don't know if you guys are, but I sure am.
You're doing better than my other teachers.
Well, that's
Listen.
all I care about, as long as I'm the best.
All these teachers be thinking great idea that online school, just pump up the work, just send it through, send us to Workville. Bro.
Yeah, I am making my AP Lit class read The Great Gatsby, but they
Can
actually
you make us
wanted
read
to.
The Great Gatsby?
No.
Not bad.
Do you want to?
Well, I mean, if it's a thing in AP Lit, I'll do it anyway.
It's not a hard book to read. It's not super long or super difficult. This is interesting. I might make you guys read it next. But what I'm having him do is a creative project afterward.
Like what? Like a diorama or something?
Yeah, it's a little diorama. Well, so for example, I told him they could make a new movie poster. So Ryan Conley is going to put himself in the place of Great Gatsby and dress himself up and take a picture and Photoshop it in. Okay.
It takes skill.
Yeah. So Olivia Perkins is going to research some music from the jazz period, because that's when jazz is coming up. And she's going to practice a piece on her trombone and then perform it and do a recording of that. Some people are going to do like photo essays, or like an Instagram, like they're an Instagram influencer, and write Instagram posts about Gatsby's parties as if this is how it should be, or this is how it shouldn't be, or got like a dozen different creative things that they're going to be doing with that.
Your AP Lit class are like overachievers. Like, I'm not worthy.
Well, it was that, or they had to write some essays, and they all voted to do the creative project instead.
I don't blame them.
I know. So I am actually having them do that over the break. And then we have the big AP test is May 13th. So they have to keep, reading and analyzing and stuff. But that's all I'm doing to them. But it should be fun. Yeah, I'll send you guys the link. I'm going to put everything that they do up on their on my website for that. I'll send you guys the link for that. I'm looking forward to Ryan Conley's cover though.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So they can write poems, they can write journals, they can do all kinds of stuff. That's just what it is.
Poems. That's a flashback to when I had 100 in Honors English 9 from the